check if two string arrays are equivalent. In this problem, we're given two string arrays, word1 and word2, and we need to return true if the two arrays represent the same string and false otherwise. So for example, in input, we have an array of string word1 which contains the strings a, b, and c. Similarly, we have another array of strings called word2 that contains a and b, c, and the output is true because, as you can see, they're both practically the same, a, b, c, and a, b, c. In example 2, we have a, c, b, and here we have a, b, c. A, c, b is not the same as a, b, c, so we return false. So the approach that we're going to use to solve this is we're going to build a string from word1 and word2. So we're going to combine all the words in word1 together to form one word, and the same for word2, and then we're going to compare these two words and see if they're the same. Now to do this, we're going to use string builder. It's a special type of class in Java. Opposed to string, it is a mutable class, whereas strings are immutable. And what that means is mutable classes, or rather mutable strings, are strings that we can modify. We can change characters, we can shorten them, we can increase their length with a time complexity of O(n). On the other hand, strings which are immutable means we can't modify them. And although you could obviously in code change a certain character within a string, or add a character to a string, or delete a character from a string, under the hood, what's really happening is every time you do that, every time you change a character, Java is actually creating a new string from the original string and the modification that you made. But in string builder, we're literally modifying that original string. So if we wanted to loop through a string and append characters to it, that will run at a time complexity of O(n) squared, when we could really use string builder and run it at a time complexity of O of n. Now, unfortunately, with string builder and string, there are some methods in string that you can't find in string builder and vice versa. For example, in string builder, you could literally use your variable name, so string builder sb, for example, sb dot append and then the character you want to append, whereas in Java you'd have to, which is not something you can find with strings. They do have some similar functions like s dot character at or length, but there are functions like equals which are found in string but they're not found in string builder, and so on and so forth. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create our string builder variables, and we do that like so. So string builder s1 is equal to new string builder, and we include our brackets, sort of like how we create data structures like stacks and so on. And we're going to create another string builder. So this one is for word1 and this is for word2, equals new string builder as well. Now in two independent for loops, we're going to loop through word1 and word2. Let's start with word1. So for int I equals to 0, as long as I is less than word1 dot length I plus plus. So we're going to loop through all the words in word1. Now we're going to create another for loop within this for loop, and this is what we're going to do. For every character c in word1 at I dot to character array, we're going to take s1 and append to it c. So we're going to loop through all the words in our word1, and then in another loop for every character in each word dot to character array. So we're going to start at our first word ab, for example. We're going to convert ab into an array of characters, so a and b. And then for every character in our new character array, we're going to append it to s1. And we're going to do the same for s2, but we need to change some things. So word2 dot length, word2 here, and s2 dot append c. Now what we're going to do is we're going to check if the length of our two string builders are not the same. So if s1 dot length is not equal to s2 dot length, then obviously we have an extra character in one of the string builders that the other one doesn't have. and we're going to return false. Now there's two approaches we could take to finalize this code. We can either convert our string builder to a string and then use the equals function, or what we can do is one more for loop for int I equals to 0 as long as I is less than s1 or s2 dot length. It doesn't really matter, they should be the same, and if they're not, we're going to return false. If s1 dot character at, we can use this function in string builder as well, I is not equal to s2 dot character at I, then return false. And if we successfully terminate from this for loop, then we return true. So let's submit our code and see if it works. Awesome. So that was the check if two string arrays are equivalent problem on LeetCode. I hope you found that video helpful, and thanks for watching.